HIV/AIDS pandemic is an extremely serious problem in Zambia. Nearly 1 in every 5 adults between the ages of 15 to 49 in the country is infected with HIV, the virus that causes AIDS. Although the prevalence rate of the disease has improved from 30% in 2002 to 14.3% in the year 2009, the disease burden is still quite heavy as widows, the aged, still struggle to make ends meet and look after orphans. World statistics show that over 25 million people have died of AIDS so far. In Zambia, the disease has claimed approximately over 1 million out of a population of 12 million people, leaving an estimated 1 million orphans with bleak future. HIV stands for Human Immunodeficient Virus. This virus is very small and can only be seen through the microscope. HIV causes AIDS by destroying the human immune system. AIDS stands for Acquired Immune Deficiency Syndrome. AIDS is caused by HIV, which lives in blood, semen, vaginal fluids, and breast milk. Medical experts all over the world are still researching for the cure. However, people living with HIV/AIDS, PLWHA, can live longer, healthier lives by adhering to treatment, eating nutritious food, drinking a lot of clean water. ARVs lower the ability of HIV to damage the immune system. That's the body's natural defense.
People just didn't know what AIDS was all about. Bearing in mind that the first case was diagnosed and identified in 1984. At that time, there was no treatment. There was just nothing. There was a bit of counseling going on. But there was fatalism. There was fear. And there was ignorance. There was heavy stigma. And I remember when Winston first came out, as the first person to come out and declare his HIV status. I was working with him. And he suffered a lot of stigma. And basically, there was death all over the place. People thought it was witchcraft. People thought it was some curse. And it took a long time for people to really realize that this is a virus. And of course, what ensued then, people were asking, where does it come from? Did it come from the monkeys in the Congo? Was it some escaped virus from some laboratory somewhere? Was it directed towards Africa? Until people realized that that was a waste of time. We had to deal with a problem. Where it came from was totally irrelevant at that point. The point to make is that HIV was here with us, and we needed to respond to that. The Zambia National AIDS Network started off as a loose alliance between NGOs. The original members were Family Health Trust, and I was the ED at Family Health Trust, Churches Health Association of Zambia, and Kara Counseling, and a few others. Those were in the lead. And the aim at that time was merely to share information. And we used to organize an annual NGO conference, bringing NGOs together, because, there was this feeling of being isolated out there. And yet we faced common problems. So bringing NGOs together was really appreciated by NGOs. But around 1994, we realized we needed to form a formal and formalize this organization. So we registered the Zambia National AIDS Network in 1994.
Now, with 200 fully paid up members, the vision of ZINAN is to see a Zambian society free of HIV and AIDS. ZINAN is one of the 4 recipients of the Global Fund to Fight AIDS, TB, and malaria in Zambia. It also receives funds from bilateral donors under the Joint Financing Arrangement, JFA, which includes the Danish Embassy, the Netherlands Embassy, and DFID through the STARS program, the Irish Aid, and the UN system in Zambia.
Our vision in ZINAN, in the context of subgranting, is to cover Zambia. you know, you'd be so surprised if I tell you that some of the best performing NGOs are very small community-based rural NGOs. They go there, they know what they must do. They may lack capacity in terms of professional financial management, but they will write each and every little expenditure they incur. And it's not the aim of Zinan to turn everybody into an accountant, but it is the aim of Zinan to say that everybody must account reasonably for the money that they get. And for us, we are saying that it is our responsibility to also help build that capacity and perhaps facilitate a transfer of skills within the community. That's why this collaboration is so important. If bigger, more established NGOs can mother, if you like, and nurture small upcoming NGOs, then I think it's not just the mission of Zinan that will have been achieved, but it will be the mission for the whole country. Because it's not about Zinan. It's about an impact on the lives of people that need these services. And so we found across the nation, my staff goes to places where I worry sometimes. And I say, are you going to have to cross that river using a boat? And then I'm saying, I'm worried for your life. But you see, they are so committed. The staff I have is A1, totally committed and giving so much of themselves. I always say to people, you know, these young fellows, they get bitten by mosquitoes so much. They can be 3 weeks into the bush, but making sure that they're building capacity, making sure that they're verifying what the reports that we get, making sure that people feel that they are important and what they are doing is important, and knowing that they can come back to Zinan.
Zambia National AIDS Network has decentralized most of its networking functions to the provinces as a way of taking its services closer to the people they serve. In the Eastern Province, Zinan is providing technical and financial support to Chipata Care, Chindi Chimasuko in Katete, Malimba Basic School in Mfuwe, and other AIDS service organizations in the province. In 2005, in Mfuwe, Zinan and some local investors worked with Chief Mukanya to mobilize the people in the community to construct a 2-classroom block at Malimba Community School. The project was initiated by the late Norman Carson and his wife Christine in the year 2001.
About 2001, my husband Adrian and I were approached by the Malimba community to help with some milling of some maize, and they told us all about the new community school they were setting up. So we started helping with maize for the teachers and the children. And then we saw that there was a great need for the children here because the schools, other schools are quite far, so the small children, nursery age and up, had no opportunity to go to school. So we got involved and we helped by raising money to build the first 1-by-1 classroom, and then later to build the first teacher's house. Later on, as Mr. Banda, the acting head, told you, Zinan became involved and helped us build the 1-by-3 classroom. And then we also managed to get involved a local business called Tribal Textiles, which is a local textile workshop. They wanted to be involved as well. So between us we have raised money to build the 1-by-1.